Let me get the link out. YouTube. 0 turned in. 2 turned in. Looks like Nuri and Rahima. Let's take a look at period 6. Classwork. Type in the chat. Period 6, I have 1 student turned in the packet, and 0 for period 8. It can be related to the packet or to any code.org lesson, and I will review it. Just type in the chat if you have any specific questions. I don't see any questions in the chat. Go ahead and type your question into the chat if there's anything specific you would like for me to review. This gets into the document down here. Where is my block? right, let's check back in on the stream here. Still no questions. I'm here to review anything you would like to go over. Oh, I see one turned in. This is updated. Ah, very good. Thank you, Susan. Let's take a look back at period 3. Still 0 there. I'll be here until 1 o'clock, let's say. I know I started a little late, so I will go until 1. Still waiting for questions. Let me know if you have any question related to the packet. I'll even open up the packet here. So we have a packet that goes alongside lesson 17. So open up lesson 17 in code.org and complete the packet. Anyone watching want to try to answer number 1? What happens when you change the value of velocity x to be a negative number? What happens to a sprite? Goes to the left, right? Normally sprites move to the right, which I guess for you guys watching that way. A negative velocity will make it go the other way. So here, what differences do you notice between velocity and counter pattern? Just look at them. You're listing your own differences right here in this space. So you write your own answer. Why is it the counter pattern must be used in the draw loop, but velocity x can be used outside the draw loop? Yeah, why is that? That's a good question. Remember the reason we have a draw loop, right? The draw loop, always running, always, always, over and over and over and over. So if something needs to change while the code is running, we put it in the draw loop. If it doesn't need to change while the code is running, if it's just a value that stays the same, we can put it outside of the draw loop. So in this case, we're updating a value for counter pattern, right? Using the x value, the x position, we're updating it, so it needs to be in the draw loop. Here, when we reformat it as just velocity x, we don't need to update anything anymore. We're just creating a stable value for the velocity. It doesn't have to change, at least not in this case, so we can leave it outside of the draw loop. So one more time, we put things inside of the draw loop if they have to change as the code is run, or if they need to run over and over and over. Outside of the draw loop is where you put things that do not need to change. So there's number 3. Here, so fish.x gets fish.x plus 1 is the same as, you can actually see up here, I actually have, so fish, here we have the number 2 and the number 1. So these are going to be a little different. This will create a velocity of 2, and this will create a velocity of 1. So this one here is going to be fish dot velocity x gets 1, right? Because we're adding to the x velocity, changing it over time. So that's going to be this one here. You can figure out the other ones based on that, I'm sure. Pretty straightforward stuff. Run the code and press the space bar. Y is wheel rotation speed equal 3 in the draw loop. Again, it's in there because it needs to change after the code is run, right? In this case, it's not the value that's changing. It's that if statement. If key went down space. All if statements, conditionals always have to be inside of the draw loop because once the code starts, if your if statement is outside the draw loop, the computer is not going to see it, right? It's going to read it once, see the conditions not met, and skip it and never look at it again. If we want our code to react to a conditional, it has to be constantly checking. Is that conditional true? Is that conditional true? Is that conditional true? It's only constantly checking that if we put it inside the draw loop. If sprite.x gets sprite.x plus 1, we'll change the sprite's x position throughout a program. What will sprite.velocity x? So if this is changing the x position, what is this going to change? Right, if x gets x plus 1 changes the position, velocity gets velocity plus 1 will change the velocity, right? This is changing the position. This is changing the velocity. And this is a guess kind of question here. Try to figure out and guess on your own what that's going to look like. If you work through lesson 17, you should have some idea. All right, I don't want to keep handing out answers here. Let me know if you have any questions. Code.org on the packet. I'll be here for 9 more minutes until 1 o'clock. I see I have 4 viewers. I don't know who you are. But I know you're there. Oh, I'm down to 3 viewers. Well, still waiting for questions. I am here to help, but if you have questions, you need to be asking the questions in the chat. Otherwise, I will not see the question, and I can't help you if you don't ask me any questions. Alrighty. Well, if you have no other questions, then I am going to go ahead and end my stream here. Shoot me an email if you have any questions, and we can address it in tomorrow's live stream. Bye-bye.